This evening, first, speeding drivers beware. The government is going high-tech. A new automated ticketing system goes live April 7th, using radar cameras to catch violators and send fines straight to your phone or inbox. What every motorist needs to know. Plus, facing the court again, former Finance Minister Winston Jordan is hit with another charge of misconduct in public office, this time over a $150 million land deal sold for just $2.4 million. He says it's a waste of the court's time. Also, Justice for Jeremiah, a mother mourns as her 7-year-old son dies 8 months after being shot in the head. Now she wants answers and action. We'll bring you her heartbreaking story. Meanwhile, thousands of new homes on the horizon. President Ali promises provisional house lots allocations for Region 3 residents by September. Find out if you're on that list. And internationally, Myanmar reels after its worst earthquake in decades. Over 1,600 are dead, and the race is on to find survivors buried beneath the rubble. Stay tuned, these stories and more tonight on Headline News Update. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for March 31st, 2025. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the government of Guyana will roll out an automated speed ticketing system on April 7, 2025, as part of efforts to curb speeding and improve road safety. The initiative, a collaboration between the Guyana Police Force and the National Data Management Authority under the Safe Road Intelligence System project, will utilize advanced speed cameras and radar speed signs to detect and issue tickets for violations automatically.
If you exceed the speed limit, overhead-mounted camera systems will detect the violation, generate a ticket, and issue it automatically. These camera readings have been calibrated and approved by the Guyana National Bureau of Standards.
Motorists exceeding speed limits will receive electronic notifications via SMS or email if their contact details are registered with the Guyana Revenue Authority, while others will receive physical tickets.
Every violation must either be paid on time or contested in court. You got a speeding ticket. What happens next? If your contact details are registered with the Guyana Revenue Authority, you'll receive a notification via SMS or email with all the details. If your details are not registered, a physical ticket will be delivered to your address. To avoid additional penalties, pay the fine before the due date. If you don't, you'll be required to appear in court.
The system, designed to be fully automated and tamper-proof, ensures impartial enforcement with fines payable through MMG and upcoming Padna app.
You can pay via any MMG agent countrywide or MMG app. This system is designed to create safer roads, smarter enforcement, and a more secure future for all Guyanese. Drive safely.
President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali hailed the initiative as a step towards modernizing traffic management, emphasizing its role in reducing accidents and saving lives. A public awareness campaign will precede the system's launch to educate drivers on its operations. With speeding being a major cause of road fatalities, authorities are urging all motorists to comply with speed limits, emphasizing that the system aims to enhance safety rather than penalize drivers. In other news, former Minister of Finance Winston Jordan appeared before the Georgetown Magistrates Court earlier today to answer a new charge of misconduct in public office. The charge brought by the Special Organized Crime Unit SOCO relates to the sales of over 5 acres of land at Gov't and Sparinam, East Coast of Marara in 2020. Jordan is accused of willfully misconducting himself by recklessly signing Vesting Order number 69 of 2020, which transfers the state-owned land valued at $150 million for just $2.4 million. The prosecution alleges that the sale was so undervalued that it constituted an abuse of public trust. Jordan, who served as Finance Minister under the former APNU-AFC administration from 2015 to 2020, was not required to enter a plea. His attorney, Don Cush, argued that pursuing the case was a waste of judicial time, pointing out that a similar charge against him had already been dismissed. Kush told the court that Jordan is a man of good character. Magistrate Fabio Azor granted Jordan bail in the sum of $150,000 and adjourned the case to April 23, 2025. This is not the first time Jordan has faced misconduct allegations. He had faced previous charges of misconduct, including the controversial sale of the state's largest war facilities in Kingston, Georgetown. On a different note, Region 3 residents who applied for house lots before January of 2024 can expect allocation letters by September. Ruth Pendleton has more on President Ali's announcement and housing plans.
Residents of Region 3 who applied for house lots before January 1st, 2024 are expected to receive provisional allocation letters by the end of September 2025. This is according to President Irfan Ali at a community outreach on Saturday at LaGrange, West Bank, Demerara.
All the houses are ready. The land is ready. Is the housing officer here? And last night I had to call the minister because I'm totally dissatisfied with what is happening in this region. And number one, no, let me finish. And I give the minister, and I'm putting the minister on notice too, because everybody's on notice. I give them 1 week to ensure that all of these matters are completed, and that you have those who have to get their houses, get their keys, and those who get their land, see the land, because it's ready. I can tell you it's ready.
In excess of $65 billion has been invested for housing development in Region 3. This, among other infrastructural developments.
The beautiful Demerara River Bridge. It's already an iconic showpiece, not only for Guyana, but for the entire region, the Latin America, Caribbean region. Iconic. People can't believe this is Guyana. Well, let me tell those who can't believe. Watch out, you have a lot more to see in the next 5 years. When you come off of the Demerara River Bridge, you will have the most modern, beautiful recreational park, the Guyana-China Friendship Park, right there, where Jovera Park used to be. Your new state-of-the-art hospital at West Dem, that will be supported by Mount Sinai in the management, bringing in specialized doctors and upskilling our doctors as specialist doctors and our nurses. The new hospital at Dekendren, the 4-lane road to Wales, an industrial site, manufacturing, complete secondary education coverage, your digital school, and moving to the point where your children can do nursing, engineering, medical science, dentistry, pharmacy, pharmacy, without having to leave the region.
The head of state added that the government's comprehensive strategy is to position Guyana as the energy, food, education, and health capital of the region, one of the best nature-based tourism destinations in the region, and a country with world-class infrastructure to support growth and development. Reporting for the Headline News, I am Ruth Pendleton.
Thanks, Ruth. Stick around when we return. Grieving mother seeks justice after son succumbs to gunshot injuries, and President Ali urges empathy and moderation in Eid al-Fitr message.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from modern optical services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern optical Services. 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. 7-year-old Jeremiah Gustav has died 8 months after being shot outside his home. His mother is demanding justice. Jill Jarvis brings us more on the heartbreaking case.
After battling for his life for 8 months, 7-year-old Jeremiah Gustav succumbed to a gunshot wound on Saturday evening at his home in Charlestown, Georgetown. His devastated mother, Keisha Gustav, is calling for justice, demanding that those responsible face the full extent of the law. Jeremiah was shot in the head on July 9, 2024 when gunfire erupted outside his home. He was sitting at his mother's food stall when an altercation escalated, leading to the shooting. Despite undergoing multiple surgeries at the Georgetown Public Hospital, he never fully recovered. The main suspect, Odell Garnett, also known as Crab, remains in prison on remand as his court trial continues. Another suspect, Marlon Marcus, was initially charged but later released after the Director of Public Prosecutions withdrew the case. Keisha expressed frustration over the legal process, stating that the men involved in the shooting would have to face some penalty because her son didn't get to live his life. In the days leading up to his passing, Jeremiah's health was deteriorated, with his mother noticing unusual swelling and fluid discharge. He was briefly hospitalized but later discharged with a dengue diagnosis. Now, Keisha is left grieving the loss of her son, holding on to memories or their final moments together. The grieving mother noted that she had faith her son would make it through this. Post-mortem examination is scheduled between Tuesday and Wednesday as the family continues to demand justice. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Today, President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali called on all Guyanese to embrace the values of empathy, justice, and moderation. He was at the time addressing the Muslim community at the Ramadan village hosted by the Muslim Youth Organization. Speaking ahead of Eid al-Fitr prayers, which ended the month of Ramadan, President Ali emphasized that the lessons of Ramadan should shape personal and societal growth. He highlighted the importance of showing compassion to those in need and using the holy month as a period of self-reflection and resilience.
Empathy. How do we ensure that in our everyday life, we show empathy to each other? We show empathy to the sick. We show empathy to those who are facing injustice. We show empathy to each other. We show love to each other. We stand up against injustice. We stand for justice. The fact that we were able, during the month of Ramadan, to demonstrate to ourselves and prove to ourselves that we have the ability to do better, that we have the ability to do what is right, that we have the ability to live life in moderation. And moderation is important. As Muslims, we have to ensure that as we come out of Ramadan, the lessons of moderation, empathy, kindness, charity, spirituality, that those are lessons that will shape our everyday life.
The president also underscored the role of gratitude. He linked the government's initiatives, such as improving education and supporting pensioners, to the Islamic principles of charity and gratitude.
The importance of being grateful, the importance of acknowledging what we have, the importance of acknowledging the gifts of life, the importance of acknowledging those who seek to make our lives better, the importance of recognizing those efforts that ensure we have a better life, those efforts that give our children a better opportunity in government. We try to develop policies that give our children better access to education, take care of the pensioners, women, enhance the productivity in our society. It's important Islamically. And as the president of NYO said, that gratitude be instilled in our hearts. If we have the ability to be grateful for whatever we have, then that is an important part of Islam, an important part of our belief system. That is, we must be grateful.
Concluding his message, Dr. Ali extended warm Eid Mubarak greetings to the Muslim community, encouraging all Guyanese to embody the spirit of unity and service throughout the year. Don't go away after the break. U.S. housing affordability crisis worsens as Trump tariffs raise construction costs. And U.S. tough stance on regions sparks concerns in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. In the Caribbean, as the Trump administration intensifies its focus on Latin America and the Caribbean, targeting migration, drug trafficking, and Cuban influence, regional leaders express concern over growing U.S. pressure. Secretary of State Marco Rubio defends sanctions on countries hiring Cuban medical workers, calling the program forced labor. Caribbean leaders, including Jamaica's Prime Minister, push back. Critics warn the U.S. approach lacks balance and may inadvertently strengthen Cuba-Venezuela ties through redirected oil shipments. Meanwhile, in South America, demonstrations have been held in Brazil against proposed legislation to pardon those who plotted a coup against President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. At the center of the alleged plot, former President Jair Bolsonaro, who will stand trial in the upcoming months, Al Jazeera's Monica Yanhu reports.
Protesters raising their voices against amnesty. They say those who put Brazil's democracy at risk deserve no mercy and must be locked behind bars, especially former President Jair Bolsonaro, who will stand trial in the coming months, accused of plotting a coup as he tried to cling to power after losing the 2022 elections.
This is a historic moment. We organized this march on the 61st anniversary of 1964 military coup to declare that Brazilians will never ever accept another dictatorship. That's exactly what Bolsonaro and his supporters were trying to do.
Bolsonaro has denied all the charges, but 2 weeks ago he held a rally in Rio de Janeiro, calling for an amnesty. Not for himself, but for those who stormed Congress, the Supreme Court, and the presidential palace 2 years ago in an attempt to oust current President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and restore Bolsonaro to power. Brazil's conservative-led Congress is currently debating a bill to pardon those involved in the January 8, 2023 insurrection.
200 Congress members have already expressed their support for the amnesty bill. We won't let that happen.
Eu acredito que ela é possível pelo fato de que existe aí.
An amnesty is possible because there is a conservative majority in Congress that has been lenient towards its extreme right allies. But if Congress were to approve an amnesty, it would be directly confronting the Supreme Court. The stakes in this battle would be very high.
Bolsonaro's trial is expected to take place this year, as Brazilians prepare for the 2026 presidential election.
Meanwhile, the battle for the streets will continue. Former President Jair Bolsonaro has already promised that he will hold a rally here in São Paulo on April the 6th. Monica Yanakiev, Al Jazeera, São Paulo.
In the U.S., tariffs on building materials are driving up costs in the U.S. construction industry, affecting homebuyers the most. Price increases impact every stage from manufacturers to contractors, with tariffs on steel, aluminum, and Canadian lumber worsening the situation. The housing market faces a slowdown while the affordable housing crisis deepens. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
In Malibu, California, the family-owned Anawalt Lumber and Hardware Company has provided home building materials to the Los Angeles area for over 100 years. General Manager Reef Anawalt says the Trump administration's tariffs will boost the cost of just about everything he sells.
All your screws, nails, metal fasteners for lumber, all of that's going to see a price increase. Most of our poly products from those same people, our same suppliers, we are going to see a price increase on lumber as well. Once the price increase hits us is when we'll raise our prices.
Prices will be stepped up at each stage of the home building process, from manufacturer to wholesale supplier to construction contractor. Who ultimately pays for it all? The home buyers themselves. The effects of higher prices will ripple through the construction sector and the U.S. economy. It's one of the largest industries in the country, employing 8.3 million workers and with a market value of more than $2 trillion.
I think it's going to have a cooling impact on the housing industry. And also, the tariffs on steel and aluminum also have an impact on building other structures, like office buildings, etc.
A large portion of the industry's lumber comes from Canada and cannot feasibly be sourced from anywhere else, including within the U.S. And as for the made-in-China metal products that hold houses together,
there's only so many suppliers for nails, screws, poly, and all that, and really all of that is made overseas. There's no one in the United States truly making large quantities of nails and screws, right?
For generations, home ownership was central to the American dream. But with home prices soaring and mortgage loan interest rates higher than they have been in decades, for millions, that now seems like an impossible dream.
There's already a serious shortage of affordable housing in many parts of the United States, including here in Southern California. The tariffs, by reducing supplies and increasing the prices of building materials, will likely make that problem worse. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Malibu, California.
Finally, Myanmar is grappling with the aftermath of its most devastating earthquake in decades, with the death toll rising to over 1,600. The quake struck Mandalay, the country's second-largest city, leaving it the hardest hit. Hundreds remain missing, while rescue teams continue to search for survivors trapped under the rubble. Despite damaged infrastructure hampering efforts, Al Jazeera's Tony Chang reports.
Long queues for fuel at dawn, stretching down the road in Myanmar's capital, Naypyidaw. People are worried they won't be resupplied, with tankers unable to travel on the quake-damaged roads. Drivers ration to a quarter of a tank. On the highway heading north, clear signs of that disruption. A tanker lies on its side. Traffic streams past, people going south, and trucks with supplies heading to Mandalay. As you get closer to the epicenter, destruction on almost every street.
We're working on it. Of course we need help, because many places are damaged, so we need help with everything.
This volunteer rescue team was travelling from Yangon to Mandalay, but stopped to help. Several people trapped in a partially collapsed bank. But hope was running out as the heavy equipment moved in. Despite the chaos all around, Ko Win Ten sat quietly in the wreckage of his family restaurant, a business built over 60 years.
I feel very sad, but we will try our best to rebuild it.
The military were on the move too, but their tools were not for search and rescue. There's been an absence of coordinated response, many communities having to rely on their own resources. In Mandalay's overstretched hospitals, patients spill out onto the grounds. But despite the heat, many would prefer to be here than inside. Myanmar's second city is now full of precariously twisted buildings, leaning over dangerously, just one brief aftershock from complete collapse. Local communities have come together in response, food handouts for those forced from their homes, or who just want to stay outside.
For a second night in a row, people are choosing to sleep either on the streets next to their houses or in tent cities like this, gathered together for comfort. Aftershocks continue to shake the city, and many are too scared to go home. Tony Chang, Al Jazeera, Mandalay.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safety with 2 headline news for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.